Would you sacrifice it all for your best friend, your life, your love, your revenge, everything? This is the choice Pearl would have to make in this video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is The American Vampire. If you're confused, go check out the playlist. Now, let us begin. Because Pearl wasn't always awesome. Pearl was a waitress with the same job, the same cycle, until one night she met her supposed future best friend. You see, she was just a new girl in town, not many friends, and she had a kindred spirit with Pearl. Absolutely shy at first, Pearl showed her she was a vibe, she was with it, and just like that, they became family. So, without question, Pearl was going to give everything up for this one girl. The vampire's request was simple: give yourself to us, and you can have your friend, or rather, she gets to walk away safe. This was not even a choice. Pearl said, okay, give her to me. And they did. But they were not blunt about what was going to happen next. And Pearl, she kind of knew it. These guys wanted to put her in chain. And they made it clear that as soon as she was in chain, they were going to rip her apart. Stick her with needles, with tools, just to find her weakness. The weakness of Mr. Skinner Sweet. Pearl was fine with that, but she wasn't fine with what came next. The elder vampire just said Miss Hargrove, and as Pearl turned around, she saw her best friend stabbing her in the heart with a blade. This was insane. I just gave up my life for you. Why would you do this? And she simply replied, you just had to stay dead. This is when we realized that she was on the side of the vampires from the start. She was bringing them people as well to feed on. She was disposing of the bodies, men, women, children. She didn't care. And her reason was, I just don't have the talent. I'm not as good as you. So I have to do anything I can to gain the upper hand. She didn't give a damn. Pearl was being ripped apart by vampires. Literally, they were about to collar her like a dog. But Pearl still had her shoes. Using the wooden heel, she stabbed the vampire in the heart and decided to run. But how could she run? It was nighttime. She was weaker than ever, slower than ever. She was at their mercy. Thankfully, her man, Henry, had a hard head. He came and he saved her. As they drove away, the vampires gave chase, but he had a gun and she wasn't afraid to shoot it. But these were vampires. Even a bullet to the skull wouldn't kill them. They just said run, run away, but realize that we will still catch you. Pearl was dying. She literally was dying. She had no option but to feed. So Henry gave himself to her, gave her consent, and she fed with pain in her eyes. She could literally feel the life force draining from him, but she was strong enough to stop. The next day, however, she had to mourn. She had to mourn a dead relationship. She had lost someone dear to her. She had lost a sister. Henry tried to be there for her, but she wasn't understanding why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to face off these monsters with me? He simply pulled out his dog tags because he knew fighting for something you cared about. He knew war. Don't worry, baby girl. I'm here with you. Let's go hunting. Together, they had found their resolve. And back in time, another group was going hunting. Book and his party were seeking revenge on Skinner Sweet, but they needed to know how to kill him because most of them didn't know a thing about vampires. The only person that did know only knew what he read in books, and those were old vampires, not something new, not something like Skinner Sweet. Because honestly, not only was he the most dangerous predator on the planet, he was also a cowboy. He was also a bandit. He would do anything just to get his way. And honestly, I like that. Screw the sophisticated vampire trope. This is what we want to see. But he was the first of his kind, so he knew something was off. He felt weak. His skin was less hard. He felt like he could sleep for days. And honestly, he didn't like feeling this vulnerable. If only he knew his enemies were already here. Book and his parties have found the people watching over the lair where Skinner made his base. They were not even playing. They said stay down or die. But things quickly fell apart when Skinner's partner decided to take a look and saw the head of his father perched on a tree. He fell to his knees, overcome with rage, overcome with sadness. He loaded his gun and went in for revenge. The vampires were observing everything. Some of them even felt bad, giving up one of their kind to be hunted like cattle. But the one who started all of this didn't care. Matter of fact, he wanted food for the show. So when they sighted some humans, they decided to go have lunch. While Book and his party went for revenge. But this was the wrong move. They didn't know what Skinner was like. He was brutal. With his torch, he roasted Felix's face and split his throat. He was not having mercy. Book was about to follow suit when Felix's daughter held him back and gave him a kiss because she did love him. It didn't even matter about the age difference, so he said, okay, stay here while I go check on your father. Unbeknownst to him, Felix was already gone. Now he had double the reasons to kill this prick. And honestly, it seems like Skinner was just having fun with it because at this point he was toying with Book. He was about to strike Book from behind, but Book was quick, even shattering his bone. Listening to Skinner scream, Book was satisfied, but he wanted to put him down for good. Skinner assured him, you cannot kill me. So Book tested it with the gunshot to the gut. It had no effect. He wanted to go for the head again, but Skinner was quick. He grabbed a rock, deflected the bullet, and threw it at Book's head. You see, he wasn't planning to kill Book, nah. He wanted to give him the same pain, the same curse. But they were not alone. Felix's daughter gave him a warning shot, taking out his ear and asking him to step away. But it was too late. Blood was already in Book's eyes. Skinner, not wanting to get shot again, decided to go deeper into the cave. And Shorty decided, if you like the cave so much, I'ma bury you in it. She shot all the beams, and the cave came crashing down. Their mission was over, but at great cost. Felix was dead, but Skinner was buried underneath the mountain. Book couldn't even comfort his new girl because her father, his best friend, lay dying in front of them. It was a bad night for all but the vampires because they had dinner. Skinner's men had been drained and they were full. In their courage, they saw this as a success, but they should have known better. Never count out Skinner Sweet because he might be in that cave, but he had let loose on the world something far more dangerous. The true second American vampire. One who sure as shit will never be able to handle the hunger, the rage, and this newfound curse. Thank you for watching, and please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification button because I drop videos every single day.